Yeah, man, I say all praises and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders, Great Millstone. Shalom to all the brothers, they're pushing this show in all sincerity and in all honesty. Yeah, this is the brother from the JMS Jamaica camp, Yashamai.
I war.
I don't want to do, listen, right, the coming sedition, basically about to take place, mainly in America, right, and across the world, but, we're seeing out in Jamaica, we see a lot of things been happening, right, especially, from this year start, right, the whole lot of robberies and all these things, there's the inflation over time getting harder and harder, right, even, I think yesterday, we see another news come out that, Berlin, truck, vehicle or them van and them carry money, basically get attacked by criminals, so we see how things are more eaten up more and more, and people are getting more desperate, right? And we see now out in Jamaica, how the police force now, because out in Jamaica, the crime rate, yeah, all right. The crime rate out here is very heavy. They are basically a little small island, and now we see our leaders getting more desperate of basically bringing more men to basically the police force in order to basically combat the whole crime thing, right? So as time go by, we know things are going to get worse and worse because we're actually in that time when total chaos about to come up on the earth. See not happening across the world, and if you leave France, all the chaos and all these things are part of what the scripture say will take place in the last days. Right? How should I going back 2,000 years ago and speak about these things? Right, you can go on, brother.
It says police and youth recruitment drive.
Go on. Youth
recruitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says this is from it's a June 13, 2022. So this is from last year basically. It says eager to boost its ranks in a bid to collar crime, the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF is targeting high school youth and is seeking to diversify the organization gender profile. See? Diversify mean, gender, male and female. Because it's alleged that they have more female going in to join the force now. See? So they more male recruitment because in a time certain situation come, time of trouble and shit at the fun, hey, men then basically have to look for to do that the certain work, man. Because women can manage certain things when it comes. As scripture even said the mighty men are gonna cry there bitterly. So what do you think that the women them are gonna do when the time even a Jacob's trouble come in?
Right.
See? It says that tragedy was disclosed at the 4th 10th recruitment drive at Merle Grove High School on Saturday.
So from schools, high schools now they want to recruit, people basically get into the force. Right, because your Prime Minister, you have an idea what basically to come. Right, because he might work for, the higher ups, right, the banking leads. Right, so they have an idea, these are certain things that even take place from 2020 coming up, all the threat that so-called Jamaicans, out here send, to our Prime Minister. These are, the lockdowns and all the things that basically take place from 2020 coming up. Right, so now they're getting desperate now, basically getting young youths or young men, in the force, because most of the women are basically joining the force now. But men don't want to go into the force, so they're trying to basically take it to another level by going to high school, and encourage young youths them to basically join the police force. Right, go on, brother. Scripture. Give me that Isaiah 10 and verse 5.
This is the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 10 and verse 5. It says, O Assyrian, the rod of my anger.
Right.
Of mine anger, and the staff in my right hand, the staff, again, Isaiah 10 verse 5, it says, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand, then is mine indignation.
So scripture say, O Assyrian, right? The rod of Yahweh Hashem Shai. Right? So because, going back to ancient time, you have the Assyrians in back then, right, basically give, our foreparents going back during them time, the Israelites, a lot of problem. Right? Fast forward to now, this current time we're living in, right, the modern day Assyrians are the so-called white people. Right, the biblical name are the Edomites. So they are the modern day Assyrians. So you say, oh Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, the rod of Ufa anger, Yahweh. Right, that's the true name of the Heavenly Father in the Hebrew, and his son name is Yahweh. Right, so you say, the rod of mine anger. Continue, brother.
And the staff in their hand is mine indignation.
And the staff in their hand is Yahweh Shai, indignation, righteous anger. Right, go on.
It says, I will send him against an hypocritical nation.
So you're going to send him, you're going to send the so-called white man, against an hypocritical nation. And what hypocritical nation? The Israelites, right? The so-called niggers, Latinos, Native American, Indian. Right? People tell you, say, with their mouth, right, they show much love. But their heart is far from Yahweh Hashem Shai, far from our power. Right? So with their mouth, them say they love you Heavenly Father, about them action, say otherwise. Right? So you're going to send him against our people. Right, the so-called white man along with these police force, because out here in Jamaica, who responds to the police force out here? Them swear allegiance to the Queen, head of state. So how about Hashem are going to use these police force or these military in the time to come to destroy a lot of our people for them wickedness?
Which is right.
They all are going to repent. So they say, staff in their hand is mine indignation, for him indignation, for him righteous hunger, I'm going to basically bring forth, on the earth like never before, right? Because some terrible things will take place, in the near future. The Heavenly Father above bring up on the earth, right? Like never before. And Yahweh known as what? The King of Terror, right? A lot of these nations, these hidden nations, they're going to learn that too. Right, go on.
Says, I will send him against an hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the streets.
So you're going to tread them down like the mire of the streets, so that's what's coming, right? A lot of people are going to get destroyed, this coming destruction about to take place. We already seen, economic collapse, getting ready to take place right now. Right, we've seen a change that take place in the earth right now. Right, a major shift take place, right, to the petrodollar. So it's going to lead to, chaos. Because America not just, stand by and watch, them empire fall. So, and them are known as the greatest, military in the world, right, the superpower. So they're going to basically, make a move very, very soon.
Show them status.
Because a lot of countries now we see they lose, a lot of countries are basically lose that fear than they have for America. So we know that something going to happen soon, very soon. Right? Go on, finish.
It says, you want to hold it?
No,
alright. Jeremiah? Jeremiah 31:6. This is the book Jeremiah 30. And verse 6. It says, verse 5, it says, For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
Done.
Yes. It says, Ask ye now and see, whether a man do travaileth with child.
Done.
Wherefore do I see every man with his lines, with his hands upon his lines, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. He says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
So the Shiva say, alas, for that day is great. The time we're approaching right now, because we're not even the first phase, you know, at the time the scripture speak about. Right, but we're going to reach that peak, right, and that's what we're heading towards right now. We're going to have total chaos like never before. Right, Jake, you know, not really, regular Jake now, they don't really care about, you know, certain things that take place, you know, across the world, even the whole monetary thing. Because even out in Jamaica, we said we push hard, basically, to go digital. Right, that's one of the main things we say push heavy out in Jamaica. And regular people don't really care because, you know, see, you have no farmer importance to them right now, but into the time now when they're going to basically get a reality check. Right, go on.
It says, alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it.
So no time can compare to the time we're approaching, go on.
It's even the time of Jacob's trouble.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. It was Jacob, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian, which are the true biblical Israelites today. Right, the time where people are going to face a lot of things though. Right, a lot of hell. Right, worse than even what four parents go through, you know, during the time of slavery. I would say all the terrible things, you know, all, you know, documents, histories of what happened to four parents, you know, during the time of slavery. Even out in Jamaica, the Zang massacre, all these things cannot compare to where both take place on the earth. They come like a walk in the park, you know, compared to what both take place right now on the earth. You know. Right? Why?
Even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Why?
But he shall be saved out of it.
But he shall be saved out of it. Who shall be saved out of it? The elect. Right? It's all about the elect of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Shai. Only the elect going to get delivered from all these things to come. Right? So seeing what's happening right now, we understand and we know that, right, these men are put things into place. You know, talking about our prime ministers, our leaders out here. Right? They take it to another step. Right? Basically, a recruit, you know, young youths or young men from school to basically go straight, you know, into the police force because they're going to need them in the time to come because a lot of guns we see coming in from, you know, different countries, you know, or even the police, now the soldiers don't have out here. Right, so a lot of videos and things, you know, news coming out about certain weapons basically are come to Jamaica. Right, when none of the police, nor the soldier, none of the police, nor the soldier don't have. So they are basically gearing up for the time we're approaching right now. Right? Go on, brother.
Amos 5 verse 16.
What?
It says, therefore the Lord, the God of hosts, the Lord said, thus wailing shall be in all streets.
So she say wailing shall be in all streets. Right? They know or basically woman can't cry already. So imagine what got me the time to come. Wailing shall be in all streets. What?
It says shall be in all streets, and they shall say in all the highways, alas, alas. And they shall call the husband to mourning.
So they shall call the husbandman to mourning. What?
And such as are skillful of lamentation to wailing.
Skillful of lamentation to wailing, talking about the woman. Right? They're skilled when they come to crying. Right? They're known for that. That's for them thing. Right? To level a case, right? To level a destruction will take place. People tell us a man will cry like a woman. So imagine what happened to the woman during them time. And the children. If a man will cry like a woman, people say what? The mighty man shall cry there bitterly the time we're approaching right now. So imagine what happened to the basically woman. Right?
We can see at the time now where everybody is preparing for war.
Yeah.
And they're preparing for some form of unrest and outbreak. Civil unrest and all these things, man. That's why the article we're bringing out right now is about basically the Jamaica Constabulary Force recruiting targeting young people, man. Because guess what? Them find out say a lot of people not going into the force, man. And them find out the shit start get deepened, and shit out feet the fan. Then so them need more people to curb curve crime, see, and be out there, you know, when people start riot,
like
place, them can control people.
Can like what take place over so?
Can.
Like what, brother?
Says, and in all vineyards shall be wailing, for I will pass through thee, saith the Lord. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?
God, people say, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. You know, we desire the day of the Lord. You know, we, through the Spirit and power, we want this society to come to an end. Right? And Scripture tell you, see not all these things shall be dissolved. What
God.
manner of person are you to be?
God.
You know, what basically we are about. Well, feel what the mindset we're supposed to in. We desire the day of the Lord.
God.
Right? We understand it's going to be a very terrible time. But in the idea we have to basically, you know, go through all these things in order to receive the kingdom.
God.
Right, go on, brother.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
So the day of the Lord is going to be what? Darkness and not light. Right? Contrary to it, you know, the so-called Christians, you know, believe you. You know, they go to church every Sunday, you know, or every Saturday. You know, basically claim to say, them look for the second coming. Right? And the man, when the people ignorant, they call Jesus, the true name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. They don't understand what the day will be like. Right? The scripture tell you, so the day of the Lord, darkness and not light. There's going to be a lot of things happening, leading up to the Yahushua arrival. A lot of chaos. Right? A lot of destruction. Right? A lot of things happen. The scripture tell you. Right? Immediately after the tribulation.
As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him.
God say I have more than one thing at the same time. What?
I went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him.
God.
Then shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light,
God.
even very dark and no brightness in it?
It's going to be a very terrible time. Right? Esau, Edom, you should the so-called white people. Right, starting with them head, now the Rothschild, Rockefeller and out. Right, they basically blessed with them receive, you know, going back to Genesis from our forefather Isaac. He's a sword. Right, and these men weaponize every single thing. Right, and Scripture tell us that these men are gonna come at us with everything, you know, they're gonna be like a madman sparing none. So they're gonna use every single weapon they have, right, in the time to come. Right, a lot of things they don't even know about, they're gonna use it in the time to come, you know, against our people. Right, they're going to go all out. Right, they're going to fling everything what they have at us here. Right, go on.
It says the move appears to be part of the JCF policy to net 1,300 new recruits this year.
1,300 new recruits at our 2022. Right, we're in 2023 now. Right, I was saying things are happening right now, even the whole robbery as I mentioned. The beryllium, you know, attack that took place yesterday. Right, so things are really heating up now more and more. Right? What?
It says iron campaigns have been conducted so far in Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Trelawney, St. Mary and St. Anne.
That's next door, St. Mary, next door parish.
It says the Deputy Superintendent of Police, Diane Bartley, who is in charge of the recruitment, told the Gleaner that Geisel will be their next stop and the request of the community. We are going directly in the high schools, to target the young men specifically based on the number we need to meet, Bartley said. So basically target the young men to come join the force and
fight crime.
Yeah.
Are the civil unrest, you know, basically above take place, you know, amount in Jamaica.
Can.
Like what?
It says we are striking to have 70 to 30 men to women ratio. Each time we keep a drive we notice that it is a little bit more women than men said Bartley. So, so more women, each and them keep the driver, more women going there to become officers. But them need more men to join the force because them need that male strength, that masculine strength, man.
Kind of brave strength.
Yeah.
You know in time, certain hard times or certain things that take place, women always get scared. Because naturally a woman feel fear. Right, what? So they want more men in the police force because a lot of women them have now, so they want more men, basically help with certain things that take place out in Jamaica or above take place also. Right, and we understand, through the spirit that these men are basically prepared for the chaos above take place, out in Jamaica because we actually in that time right now. And the scripture speak about these things. Alright, give me 2nd Ezra now, brother. 2nd Ezra 15.
Second Ezra
15. Jump deep
15 and verse 14.
What?
It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
God says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Right? And the word woe go back to, destruction, suffering, distress. That's the time period we're living in right now. Right? One?
For the sword and their destruction draw it nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
God, that's basically a race war. Right? Civil war.
God.
Right? Class war. Upper class against the lower class. Right?
With swords in their hand, for there shall be sedition among men.
Because it's about a prophecy. So there's going to be sedition. Right? People coming up against the government are coming up against the police force. That's the reason why they want a lot of more young men to join the police force because they know that something great is about to take place out in Jamaica. Right? And basically go back to prophecy. And a lot of guns, as we mentioned earlier, and a lot of big guns been coming in to Jamaica for years. And you have way more gunmen out there more than basically police them have. Right, so they want more basically add to the number if you can help with certain situation in the time to come. Right, but I'm not gonna help them because in the idea scripture tell us here. How about Shemaiah the one that bring this basically judge our people for their wickedness. As brother read the scripture earlier on, say our Syria and the word of mine hunger and his staff in there and his mind indignation. The Heavenly Father one that brings destruction to the society. To punish our people along with these hidden nation for their wickedness. Right? Gonna be a very one.
Invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
So they're not busy about the leader no more. Right? And they know. They know they're gonna reach a point when people are gonna fed up at them because they've been telling lies for years. So they're trying to basically get things, put into place before, all they break loose. So they're trying to get more men, recruit men, put in the force so they can help with the, certain things are about to take place. Right?
And the course of their action shall stand in their power.
Right.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And I will get a preview, of what to come because, going back to the early 2020, we're seeing, them basically have certain places for them locked down, or certain streets, a certain community get locked down like Bulbia. You have this lady coming out, complaining about, them get locked down and they don't have food to eat, and them say come and test them for certain things. Them have, and contest them, and basically, still after them send some food going, some we call it, ration. Them send some little food known as a rationing. So one Lasco, pound of flour, 2 pound of flour, and something like that. Right, so we see the test run from 2020. Right, with soldiers them, and then basically lock off, bull beer. So all these things are test run for the real thing about to take place, on the earth. Go on.
Yeah, basically them are coming down in a lockdown. Your 15-minute cities and all of these things, man. So them need more police force in the police force because as the Akka mentioned about 2020, them see that the police force wasn't enough to contain the people, man. Yes, it wasn't enough because people be out in the streets having party, you know, having water party and all of them things here when in a 2020, man.
Yeah.
So some people come out on the street and I go hard about, man. Enough police wasn't there to police seeing what was going on, man. So them sister them have a problem from then. So them are turn up the recruitment and drive now. See? It's because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Men going to be afraid. Right? So people tell us in Luke 21, I believe, 25 and out. Say men's heart feeling them things that them see. I go up on the earth. Right? A lot of people going to lose it, yo. Have heart attack. The level of destruction about to take place. You know, the Yahweh Shemir Shai on the side of the door. Right? That's the only way to escape all these things through the Heavenly Father. There's no other way. You cannot save yourself. No matter how much weapon you want, have how much food you want to store up in the idea, you cannot save yourself. Right? There's only the house Shai. Right? Yahweh Shemir Shai only, you know, source of our basically survive all these things to come, or escape all these things to come.
That's right.
Right?
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Great tribulation. You have shortage of food. Famine. And this famine is going to be the greatest famine. Greater than all the famine bars, famine them throughout history coming up. Right? This famine are coming. So people, lot of people going to die of starvation. The scripture tell us. So many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. And the other that escape the famine shall the sword destroy. So if you did by one thing, you did by the other.
Because it's not going to just take place in one country. Like how you have the famine in China, and you have probably famine in India, or that just in one country at a time, or probably in Europe.
Yeah.
And it's going to come upon the entire world, man.
Worldwide famine.
Yes. World. Scripture said the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Yeah?
Yeah. Alright, so that I say all praises and honor to how double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Prayer Stone. Shalom to all the brothers, you know, pushing this truth in our sincerity and in all honesty. Shalom.